Hello guys, welcome to Sadhana Academy Biology YouTube classes. I am your biology lecturer Shruti Ashwath. In my YouTube channel, I am discussing first PU and second PUC biology topics which are very much helpful for both first as well as second PUC students for their board examination as well as CET and NEET examination. In my first class, I am going to discuss the first chapter from second PU biology, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Before moving into the topic, dear students, don't forget to subscribe, like and share my channel. So let us move into the topic, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So flowering plants are the flower producing plants. So what is flower? Flower is a sexual reproductive structure. Flower is a reproductive, it is a reproductive part of a plant. Here we are discussing the reproduction in flowering plants, and flowering plants is also called as angiosperms. Reproduction. So before moving into the topic, we have some basic introductions to the topic. Here reproduction. Reproduction means it is a process of giving birth to new individual or process of forming a new individual called as reproduction. So let me write the definition of reproduction. So reproduction it is the process of giving birth to young one. It is the process of giving birth to young ones called as reproduction. So this reproduction process mainly classified into two types. One is asexual reproduction, another one is the sexual type of reproduction. Sexual and asexual. So asexual means here the young ones are formed without the fusion of gametes. In asexual type of reproduction, there is no fusion of gametes. New individuals are directly formed from the parent body without the fusion of gametes, called as asexual type of reproduction. Let me take one example, yeast. It is a unicellular fungi, a parent yeast. New individuals are formed as a small outgrowth, and the small outgrowth is called as bud. This small bud slowly it increases its size and finally it gets detached from the parent body. So this is an example for asexual type of reproduction. So next let us move to the sexual type. It is our today's concept. Sexual type of reproduction. Here we see the fusion of male and female gametes. In sexual type of reproduction, the new individuals are formed with the fusion of male and female gametes. The male gametes, it may be sperms, and female gametes, egg. Sperm and egg fused to form a zygote. This zygote later develops into a new individual. So next let us study the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In order to understand the concept, we have to know the structure of a flower. And we know that flower is the reproductive part. Now we are studying the structure of a flower. A flower mainly has four whorls. Innermost whorl, it is called as gynoecium, and the next whorl, second whorl, it is androecium, and the third whorl, it is petal, and the outermost whorl, it is sepal, and this is the stalk of the flower. So stalk of the flower, it is called as pedicel. Outermost whorl, this is calyx. Individual member of the calyx called as sepal, and all the sepals together called calyx. Next whorl, next inner whorl, it is corolla, and the individual member of corolla, this one, it is called as the petal. All the petals together we call it as corolla. Next whorl, it is the androecium, very important part. Androecium, it is the male reproductive structure in a flowering plant. Next, innermost whorl, it is the gynoecium. Gynoecium or the female reproductive part. This is androecium, it is the male reproductive part. Innermost whorl is the gynoecium, next whorl is the androecium, next outer whorl is corolla, and the last whorl it is the calyx. And these two whorls are called as the accessory part. These are the accessory part because it won't play any role in the reproduction. Its function is to only attract the pollinators. And these two whorls are the important sexual part, and it play very important role in the sexual type of reproduction. So let us directly move to the structure of today's topic, structure of the male reproductive part. Let me draw the enlarged diagram of the male reproductive part of a flowering plant. Yes, it is called as stamen. This is a single stamen, and the tip part, it is called as anther, and this is elongated filament. Anther and filament, long stalk are called as filament, and this is a bilobed structure called as anther, and the entire structure is called as the stamen. So anther, it has two lobes. We can see here there are two lobes. So anther, it is a bilobed structure. So why anther is bilobed? Because it has two lobes. So it is called as anther is a bilobed structure. So let us take the transverse section of the TS of the anther. When we take the transverse section of the anther, we get this kind of structure. I have taken the transverse section of anther. Yes, this is the transverse section of anther. This is one lobe and this is another lobe. There are two lobes, and these two lobes are connected by a tissue called as connective tissues, and this is the connective tissue. Its function is to hold this half and this half of the anther, two lobes of the anthers together. So each lobe has two cavities. This is upper cavity, lower cavity, and these cavities are called as the theca. In one anther here, in one section, we can see there are four theca, tetra, and this each cavity, and this is each cavity, it is called as pollen sac or microsporangia. Each cavity, it is called as pollen sac or microsporangia. So in one section we can see four thecas or four pollen sacs or four microsporangia. So anther, it is also called as tetrasporangiate. Anther is dithecous or tetrasporangiate. So next let us study about the structure of microsporangia. Very important 5 marks question. Structure of microsporangia. So microsporangia, it has mainly 4 walls. 4 walls. One is outermost wall. It is called as epidermis. Next layer is endothecium. Inner membrane is the middle layer. Next wall is inner covering is the tapetum. Here we see the sporogenous tissues. Sporogenous tissues. So outer part, it is epidermis. Next layer, it is endothecium. And next inner membrane, it is middle layer. Next inner covering, it is called as tapetum. Inner to the tapetum, we can see the sporogenous tissue. This is the structure of Microsporangia. Microsporangia has 4 wall layers. Outer one is epidermis, single layer. Next inner one is endothecium. Next one is middle layer. Next inner one is tapetum. There are 4 protective wall layers. In that epidermis, endothecium and middle layer, its function is a protection as well as dehiscence. It provides the protections to developing microspores. So microspores are produced here. Inner to the tapetum, here the microspores are produced. Microspores are also called as the pollen grains. Here the function of outer 3 layers, it is protection as well as dehiscence, and whereas this is the nucellus. Nucellus are the cells which has dense cytoplasm with many nucleus or more than 1, 2, 3, many nucleus. Its function is, the function of tapetum, it is nutrition. Nutrition. It provides food for developing pollen grains. We have studied structure of Microsporangia. So Microsporangia has 4 wall layers. Outer epidermis, next endothecium, middle layer, inner tapetum, and inner to the tapetum we see the sporogenous tissue. It is a homogeneous type of cells, and each and every cell, it acts as a spore mother cell, or we call it as pollen mother cell. Sporogenous tissues, it give rises to or responsible for the development of pollen grains. Process of formation of pollen grains from the sporogenous tissues or pollen mother cell called as microsporogenesis. So next we are talking about the microsporogenesis. Microspores are nothing but pollen grains. Genesis means it is synthesis or production, the process of production of the microspores or pollen grains. Microspores, pollen grain, one and the same. It is called as microsporogenesis. And these microspores are formed from pollen mother cells. Pollen mother cell, it is 2n, means diploid. It has 2n number of the chromosome, and this is pollen mother cell. This pollen mother cells undergoes meiosis type of cell division, resulting in the formation of microspore tetrad. Microspore tetrad means here during the meiosis, the diploid number of the chromosomes reduced to haploid. The chromosome number reduces to half, and from one pollen mother cells, 4 microspores or 4 pollen grains are formed, and they are held together. They are formed in the form of a bunch of 4. This is called as the pollen tetrad. Pollen tetrad. So on maturity, as the anther matures, these pollen grains get detached from one another, and this is the developed or matured pollen grains. So this is the process of formation of microspores from microspore mother cell. So next let us study the structure of these microspores or pollen grains. And these pollen grains or microspore, it is also called as the male gametophyte. And the ploidy of the microspore, it is N, means it contains haploid number of chromosomes. Next, let us study the structure of microspore, pollen grains or male gametophyte. All these are the other names of pollen grains. Microspore, pollen grain or male gametophyte, it is one and the same. As we studied the microspores or the pollen grains, these are formed from microspore mother cells or pollen mother cell, which is diploid. It undergoes meiosis type of cell division to form microspore tetrad or pollen tetrad, and here all the cells which are haploid because these are formed after meiosis type of cell division. Next, after the maturity of the anther, these pollen grains get separated from each other, and these are called as pollen grains or microspores. So as the anthers matures and rise up, the pollen tetrad, the pollen grains, when here it is in the form of a bunch of 4, so it is called as a pollen tetrad, and after maturity it gets separated from each other to form individual pollen grains. So next let us study the structure of these pollen grains. It has 2 walls. It is spherical in shape. Its diameter, it is from 20 to 50 micrometer in diameter. It has 2 walls. Outer wall is called as exine and inner wall is called as intine. Exine is made up of a chemical called as sporopolanin, whereas intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Exine, here and there, it has small openings or aperture which are present on the exine wall of the pollen grains, and it is called as a germopore. Exine is made up of sporopolanin. It is a chemical. It shows resistance to the temperature, activity of the enzymes, acids or alkali, so the pollen grains can be preserved as a fossil because it shows the resistance to high temperature, enzyme activity, or acids or alkali. So this pollen grains can be stored for many years. So because of the presence of sporopollenin, this pollen grains can be preserved as a fossils. And in chain, it is a single layered structure which is made up of continuous layer. It consists of cellulose as well as the pectin. And the pollen grain has two cells. The upper and bigger cell, it is called as the vegetative cell, and this is the vegetative cell, and the lower one, it is the generative cell. Upper one is the vegetative cell, lower one is the generative cell. This vegetative cells consist of the reserved food material or stored food material, and this stored food material, it is very much necessary for the development of this generative cells. So this generative cells, as the pollen grains matures, this nucleus undergo mitosis type of division to form two male gametes, and this is the pollen grains. On maturity or as it matures, this generative cell divides to form the two nucleus, and these two nucleus act as the male gametes. In most of the flowering plants, nearly 60% of flowering plants, pollen grains, it is shed at two-celled condition, means pollen grains with two cells. In nearly 60% of flowering plants, pollen grains are shed at two-celled condition. Here one is vegetative cells, another one is the generative cells. In rest of the flowers, the pollen grains, it shed at a three-celled condition. Here one vegetative cells and two male gametes. This is about the structure of pollen grains. Thank you.